I thought I could talk about the present moment. That oftentimes on the spiritual journey, a common teaching is that we have to try and be present, that we have to work for, to strive, to achieve being present in the moment, and that anytime we're falling out of the present, it's a reason to remind ourselves to be present. And the one who's trying to be present, the aspect of ourselves that says, I need to be present, is the character or the ego that you are. That the ego that we are loves to play games of correction, is fed off a desire of feeling like it's doing something wrong. And so anytime we start to build a belief that we need to correct ourselves, to reprimand ourselves, to remind ourselves that we have to be in the presence, we are just feeding our egos. Because in reality, you are presence itself. You are the presence of your soul bringing to life every moment. And there's never anything to try and strive for and achieve in being in the present moment, because anytime you're trying to achieve something, you are feeding the ego that feels unworthy as it is. And the moment you say, there's not anything for me to achieve, present moment is a gift, is a natural gift. It's a birthright of who I am. I am presence. And so if I am presence, wherever I'm thinking is just me bringing presence to that. And if I'm thinking about the past, then I'm bringing awareness or presence or learning from the past that I have yet to see up until this moment. And if I'm thinking about the future, then I'm learning about my desires for the future. And I'm bringing the presence I am into the future to become more of the desires I have that I wish to work towards in the moment that I'm living. And so the present moment is who you are. It isn't something you need to achieve or strive for. And achieving and striving for is just building a bigger spiritual ego. And if we find ourselves thinking about the past, thinking about the future too often, to a point where we feel like it's unhealthy, what if it isn't about correcting yourself back into the present moment, but loving the part of yourself that has a hard time being in its life? Loving the part of you that says, this life is too hard, so I'm going to fantasize about something that's not here as a way of making me feel better. And as we love the part of ourselves that has a heart that focuses too often on the past or too often on the future, that pattern starts to soften, and we are aligning ourselves more and more with our soul, which is a natural presence. And oftentimes with our ego, when the ego thinks it's its job to be in the present moment, it will pull you out of the present moment just so the ego that is the character or personality that you are can correct itself back into the present moment. And so if we're trying to achieve or strive for being present, we will find ourselves falling out of the moment that we are in more often, just so the ego has a game that it can play of correcting ourselves back into the present moment. And the more we take time to love our ego that tries to be present, to love the part of ourselves that thinks about the past more than we would like, or thinks about the future more than we would like, the more and more we're aligning ourselves with the natural presence that we are. And the spiritual journey isn't so much about trying to achieve or strive for anything, but relaxing into the enlightened being that you always were and are just on a journey of remembering yourself as. And the more soft and gentle and loving you can be with yourself, the more the body and the ego will feel safe enough to open up to the enlightened being who you've always been outside of this body. Because on the deepest level, any angel, any guide, any ascended master exists out of time. And so if it exists out of time, then there's nothing for you to achieve in this moment, but it's just about getting your body to a state of peace and relaxation and surrender through love, care, and compassion, where it can fully receive the enlightened being you are. And so our journey is about a journey of relaxing, a journey of growing, a journey of making empowered, bold, courageous, and choices that would be in line with the version of ourselves that are timeless, the versions of ourselves that are ascended, that are illumined. The more we take more powerful choices and action steps in our life, the more we are gentle, kind, and caring to ourselves and others, the more we are aligning ourselves with the illumined beings that we see as guides, but are really just different aspects of our higher level states of consciousness. And as we take the greatest steps we've ever taken in our life that are the most empowering, healthy, bold in our life, as we are more gentle, kind, and soft with ourselves, we remember ourselves more and more as enlightened, awake, amazing, incredible, angelic archangels and ascended masters that we've always been, and we're just on a journey of remembering by our willingness to make the choices and live our lives how we would in heaven here on earth. And so when we're trying to be present, can we love the parts of ourselves that have a hard time being present? Can we give greater kindness and care to the ego that tries to focus on being present? And can we take any time we're spending too much in the past and too much in the future as a reason to love, to remember the enlightened being, the ascended master, the archangel, that you are in this moment, and are just on a journey of remembering the being that you already are, that there's nothing to achieve or strive for. But as you take the steps in your life, and as you are kind and gentle with yourself, on deeper and deeper levels, more and more of that light that you are, that is timeless, that is powerful, can move into your body by your willingness to align yourself with how you would live your life in your highest integrity, highest honesty, highest empowerment and courage, and your willingness to be as compassionate and merciful, as kind and loving with yourself in every moment. So I hope that helps, and thanks for listening.